gone.
And hello. Maybe I should clear my throat before I try to do that. Sorry about that. Woo! All right. Well, hello. Welcome to Solo Playthroughs. Take 2 was a lot better. We are gonna do something crazy today. We have a 3-handed playthrough of Spirit Island, Guard the Isle's Heart. We have 3 low complexity spirits. We have 3 aspects. We have only base game content because I don't really love the way this scenario plays with the expansion content. I think it's just too kind of easy in a lot of ways, but also like too random, and that the events and whatnot can lead to like an auto loss. And that's not fun. Like 2 hours into a playthrough, like, oh, I lose because this event says so. And so none of that. We're gonna all base game content. We have 2 healthy island cards. We have like 17 fear cards. I forgot how small these decks were. I mean, this major power deck has like nothing in it. We might have to shuffle this to get more cards out. But this is a very, very cool challenge, and it's turning Spirit Island into like a tower defense game, especially when you're playing against England 6, and I really like it. So I have done this twice. This exact setup I've done once. I did it on my own last night, was able to pull off a victory. These 3 aspects are really strong. They work well together. I do think that this is going to be something that I should win more often than not, but I guess, especially against England, I mean, it is definitely not a sure thing. This will be very, very hard. The margin for error is very small. So I did this 3-handed challenge against Guard the Isle's Heart, though I've done it. The other time I did it was at PAX Unplugged. Patrick Erb, I don't know if you're seeing this, dude, but Patrick and I worked out a trade for some games, and basically he was like, well, I'll do that, but you got to play Spirit Island with me, which I thought was hilarious and super cool. So yeah, we sat down with Palmer, who was a friend of his, and the 3 of us played a 3-handed game of Spirit Island, and we got walloped. We had Thunder Speaker, Ocean, and Bringer, and that was a really tough matchup. I mean, Bringer not being able to do anything but push things, and then Ocean obviously having some trouble getting to the center. So we definitely jacked the difficulty up. We went against England 4, and we were not able to pull it out, but that was super fun, and it really helped me start to think about the scenario and how to approach it. And then, gave me definitely a big leg up when I went ahead and played it with Lightning, Shadows, and Vital. We have Wind, Lightning, we have Reach, Shadows, and we have Might, Earth. I said Vital. I meant Earth. You know who I meant. I mean, it's Vital, Strength, and Earth, so it's all good. If someone can confirm that my audio is coming through well, that'd be super helpful. I know there's only a couple people in there so far. We have a weird start time today. Sorry about that. This will be a longer playthrough, and I wanted to get it going. I have stuff to do the rest of today. And again, this is my last playthrough for this week between PAX Unplugged and my birthday and some family stuff. It's just been a crazy, crazy week, but I'll be back next week with 4 playthroughs starting on Tuesday, so probably Tuesday through Friday, and just knock them out. But I haven't totally confirmed that. There's a chance I'll sneak something in on Monday if I can kind of get that figured out. But let's go ahead and pick our boards, and then we can kind of set the rest of this up. Setup will be quite a bit easier. We don't have to worry about events. We don't have to worry about any of these tokens. Remember, none of this. This is Badlands. This didn't even exist until Jagged Earth, but I have the wilds and the beasts and the disease and the strife. They're all in the box still. We don't need any of it. It's crazy. So let me go ahead and roll a d6. We'll start figuring out our boards here. So this first roll will be for Lightning. I rolled a 1, so Lightning will be on board A. I'm going to roll again for Earth over here, and I rolled 4, so Earth will be on board D. And then finally, we're going to roll again. Since board D is in play, I will not play with board F. Again, that is recommended in the Jagged Earth rulebook to not combine those two boards. I rolled a 3, so that will be board C. All right. I love how the island looks in a 3-player game. It's serpent fun. Hold on one sec. I'll just make sure. Sometimes they do this weird thing with me in the chat windows. Nope. We're good. Not missing anything. All right, good. I'm going to put this over here. And let's start putting stuff on the board. So we have our 18 Dahan to start the game. So I will just get these quickly put on the board. We will have some setup. I'm going to do all the setup of England, and then I'm going to modify just to make it super clear on the channel, like on the for the channel, what's going on. And then I'm going to modify and do all the setup changes for Guard the Isle's Heart. So I do have the third camera down at the bottom. There was no way I'm going to be able to had enough room for a card cam. So sorry about people who really like the card cam. It just wasn't going to work on the channel. So we're just going to have that little thing, the little window at the bottom. And that's just another way for you to track the fear, because there's a lot of fear. So I thought that'd be cool and was like kind of worth throwing on there, and kind of fills that space with at least something useful. I know it's really tiny. I'm really tiny. That's really tiny. There's a lot going on in this game. So we got 6, 6, and 6 with the number of Dahan. I'll go with the rest of the pre-printed setup icons. We have a town in land 7 on board D. We have a town in land 7 on board C. Again, these will not be there for very long. I'm just going to again do all the setup, and then I'll take things away. We have a town in land 8 on board A. We have a city in land 2 on all boards. I'm going to have our starting blight. We have a starting blight in 5 on board C, 4 on board A, and 5 on board D. Spirit presence, shadows is going to start with 3 presence on the board. It's going to be 2 in the highest numbered jungle. That's land 4. And it's going to be 1 in land number 5. And then we'll flip him over and get him set up. Boo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did all of these. And then shadows is going to have, I'll use this to show what growth option I pick. And then we're replacing Shadows of the Dahan with reach through ephemeral existence. Once per turn, I may ignore range. This can be during growth or for a power or anything for which there's a range arrow or the word range is used. It affects a single action of yours, and I'll use this little token, this blue token, to remind me when I've used it and when I haven't. We're going to go ahead and set up lightning. Lightning is going to have 2 presence in the starting board. 2 presence on the starting board in the highest numbered sands. So we're going to have a sacred site in land 7. That's really nice to have 2 sacred sites like that right in the lands that are going to matter the most in this particular playthrough. We're going to flip over lightning. We're going to put the rest of lightning's presence on their spirit board. I do have a little bit of fisheyeing in the corners. Again, that's, I have a webcam that I use. I do not have a high-tech camera yet. One of these days, maybe we'll be able to justify that that expense. But that day is not today yet. But we are getting there. So again, sorry for the little bit of fisheyeing in the corners with this setup. But we're going to replace swiftness of lightning with wind, exaltation of the stormwind. Speed, I can target another spirit. You and target spirit may each make one of your non-major powers fast. You and target spirit each gain +1 with +1 range with all of your powers this turn. And then that's if I have 1 air and 3 air respectively. If I have 4 air and 1 water, you and target spirit may each push up to 2 explorers from one of your respective lands. And then if I have 5 air and 2 water, repeat this power. Excellent. We're going to put this up here again to track what growth option I use. And then finally we have vital strength. Put 3 presence on the starting board, 2 in the highest numbered mountain. That is going to be land 8, and 1 in the highest numbered jungle. That is 1 in land 6. So we're going to flip him over. So these are good boards for us because we got presence in all 3 of the innermost lands. So we're going to set him up, and then I'm replacing. So again, it's funny because I'm doing all base game content except for the aspects, right? But I think that makes some sense. I mean, the aspects, these aspects in particular, do not require base game content. That there were some like foreboding I couldn't use because that uses strife, things like that. So or maddening uses strife, I think. Foreboding does something else. I don't know. There's so many aspects. I forget. And there's going to be 20 more. Who can keep track? So this replaces Earth's vitality. So instead of having a sacred site everywhere, I have instead of having defend 3 in every land where I have a sacred site, instead we have Earth moves with vigor and might. It is a fast power, target only yourself. So Earth can only target Earth. If I have 1 plant, you may play an additional power card by paying 1 energy plus its costs. Its elements apply for the rest of this innate powers threshold. If I have 1 sun and 2 earth, you do +1 damage with each damage dealing power you use this turn. If I have 2 plant and 3 earth, you do +1 damage with each damage dealing power this turn. So that stacks. So basically +2. And then if I have 1 sun and 3 plant, I gain a power card. It's very cool. We're gonna put we're gonna not put anything. That's all done. We're good. So let me shuffle up these 2. Note we do have 15 fear in the fear pool, if that looks like a lot to you. And again, I'll explain that when we go through England's escalations. I'm gonna roll the die here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I rolled a 3. This is our Blighted Island card. It is one of the 2 originals. So it's either gonna be lose a presence every turn, or it's gonna be lose a presence or forget a power every turn. Neither one are people's favorites. They're both pretty brutal, but hopefully we can stay healthy island for a very long time in this one. Again, the most likely way we're going to lose is not going to be Blight. It's going to be a town building on one of the inner lands, and that is the joys of Guard the Isle's Heart. Note, my face, I know, is blocking up the terror level. We are at terror level 1. I think, my face is a good representation of something that's terrifying, I guess, is how we're going to go. So there's 7 Blight on the card. I will be using the errata, even though we're going back to going old school with all the base game stuff. So we have two Blight per presence plus the 1. Jonica Koski, whoa, what are you doing to your brain, Greg? That is a good question. I think, unfortunately, what I did to my brain, I did a long time ago, and there is no return. And Jonathan says, I also love the 3-board island. Yeah, because it's freaking awesome. Look at it. It's like, it looks like an island. Yeah, I tried this scenario at 2 players a long time ago, and I was like, that's not for me. The 3-player board, I mean, this scenario is built for 3 players. It's a super, super cool. Again, it really has a tower defense-y feel as you go in a way that I really, really, really love. So we'll see if we can pull off a victory here today. So I'm shuffling up this very tiny major power deck, and I'm shuffling up this very tiny minor power deck. They're going to be off screen down by me. Or I'm just going to throw them all over the floor, it appears. Come on. Learning how to shuffle with solo playthroughs. You notice I do have element markers. I'm just going to use them to help me track all the innates. I think the more you can do to help yourself in tracking things when you're playing with multi-spirits, I think is ideal. This is my first time really playing with 3 spirits. Last night and now today, or playing with 3 spirits solo is what I should say. I don't really understand people who play with 5 and 6 spirits on the reg, but God bless them, man. If that's how they get the most fun out of this game for them, that's great. That would definitely not be my preference on the norm. I still, again, love this game, true solo or 2 spirits. That works for me. Just the shorter games, is kind of a better fit for me. So I'm shuffling up the fear deck. I'm going to apparently shuffle half of it into itself backwards, because that's always a good idea. You're learning all the tips from the pro. Today, the fear deck for level 6 England is going to be 4, 5, 4. So we'll get that set. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are literally only 2 fear cards in the base game that are not in play. And as I was separating out the content, I really appreciate how they made it very clear what's from the base game, what's from the expansions, with the little symbols in the corners of all the cards. It made separating this out really, really helpful. I think this is the first time my power deck has been separated out in about 3 years, so which is cool. So let's go through England, and then we'll go through the rules for this scenario. So we have the Kingdom of England, again, additional loss condition if there were ever 7 or more cities and towns in one single land, not board. When I first started playing this game, I was reading land as board, and I was like, wow, that's really hard. I was like, oh wait, no, it's land. I mean, that's still definitely something you need to keep on top of, but not as bad. Stage 2 escalation, building boom. This is the stupid build on each board with a city or a town, or one of the stupid. I guess there's multiple stupid builds on each board with cities and towns. Build in a land with the most cities or towns. So that's pretty brutal. Level 1, we're gonna invaders are gonna build in lands without invaders if they are adjacent to at least 2 cities or towns. So in Guard the Isle's Heart, that means we not only have to worry about any kind of accumulation there, because again, if a town builds in the center, which I'll explain, you lose. If we have 2 cities or towns in any, adjacent to any of the center lands, it's a really, really bad scene. During setup, we're going to add a city to land 1 and a town to land 2 on each board. Again, the towns will not be there for very long. I'm just going to be very methodical in setting this up. For the kids, high immigration tile, we have the high immigration build tile. That's going to be out there all game. That covers both level 3 and level 4. And then we have level 5, cities and towns have +1 health. And then level 6, I'm going to use a reminder token for this. During setup, add an additional fear to the fear pool per player. That's why there's 15 fear up there and not just 12. And during any invader phase where you resolve no fear cards, perform the build from high immigration twice. This has no effect if no extra build card is in the slot. So that's fantastic. And now the scenario, Guard the Isle's Heart. The invaders have found the center of the island's power, and if they lay down roots there, the heart of the island will be shattered. You must act decisively in order to save your home, and in your haste to mount the defense, you reach out for whatever source of power you can find. With your newfound strength, fight back the invaders. The scenario is notably easier for spirits with easy build prevention. It's noticeably harder for spirits with no build prevention or fast way to destroy explorers. And it's also hard against adversaries who act quickly. Or England. I mean, for real. It should say or England. Who have additional ways to build, even if you take all the invaders out of the land. But that's, just my personal edit. Scenario difficulty 0. I guess I could see that. I mean, it gives a little and takes a little away. So, but again, that additional loss condition is super brutal. So I think that a difficulty 0 is probably the most dependent on your matchup. I could see this being a difficulty +2 or difficulty +3 in certain matchups, and like definitely a difficulty minus whatever in others. So, I can quibble with that difficulty 0 rating. Additional loss condition anytime after turn 1. So it's after turn 1. So if there's a build there in the first turn, that's fine. But after turn 1, anytime there is a build in the inner land, you lose. So if there's a town or a city there, you lose. Done. And again, that's why some of the event cards are like, oh, add a town there. And you're like, I lose because that's stupid. Inner lands. There is 1 inner land on each board. In a 3-player game, that inner land is always going to be, guess what? Yeah, the inner land. So any of the lands that come together at this corner, I'm just going to put a little marker here. It's one of these stone markers. I don't know if these are from the base game or from Jagged Earth or from Branch and Claw. I forget which. So I'm just going to put a stone marker there. Those are my inner lands. If a town ever gets in one of those lands, game over. Setup changes after all other setup, not including the final explore, which is the final step of setup. After all of setup, we're going to remove towns, all towns. So all 6 towns that are on the board go away. In each inner land, see left side, we're going to add 1 explorer and 1 presence from the players starting on that board. Excelente! So we're going to have, if you're playing with Ocean doesn't get a center presence. It just goes in the land that's closest to the center on his board. So that's, just kind of a little note worth noting. And now we get to add a presence, which is super helpful to really jumpstart these spirits. They could use it. So I'm going to take top top track from Shadows. So now he has 3 presence there, which is a little bit useless, but at least it's off his board. We will do top track from Lightning. So he's going to have 3 presence there. Again, not ideal, but we're going to go bottom track from Earth, and now we have a Sacred Site in all 3 inner lands. Finally, each spirit starts with 2 additional power cards by drawing a single card from each of the power decks. That I like to see, so we're going to start with some extra power. Hold on one sec. My sinuses are attacking. All right. I'm ringing the spam risk. All right, here we go. 3 spirits. That would hurt my brain. And 9 on the easy adversary. You're in for a fight. Good luck. Thank you, Ulrich and Lee. Yeah, I normally play 3-handed in general. Is this too much like work at my experience level? But this scenario does look pretty cool, though. It's cool. I mean, you could play this too. I just think the tower defensive feel, like having that the circular board really is very, very cool. And then the number of adjacencies that are created and having to manage all that, I think it's a very cool experience and a different way to experience the game. So we have Lightning. I'm going to go with them first. They're going to get a major power and a minor power. Give me, oh my god, the game I had yesterday, I swear, the elemental combos I was getting were garbage. But we still managed to pull it up, but it was a lot harder. Hopefully the elements cooperate a little bit better for me on this channel today. Entwining power. You and target spirit may each use each other's presence to target powers. Target spirit gains a power card. You gain 1 of the power cards they did not keep. That's interesting. You and target spirit each gain 3 energy and may gift each other 1 power from hand. And that is if I have 2 water and 4 earth. I will never have that. So that is not the major power of dreams for Lightning. Then we get this. It's got a fire. I like that. Rouse the trees and stones. 2 damage. Push 1 explorer. And that has to be done 1 away from a sacred site, and it has to target a land that does not have blight. So remember, we lost our special rule, so we will have the ability to make at least 1 power fast every turn, but we're going to be using that boon of lightning a lot on ourselves, at least the way I was playing this last night. But also remember, 2 damage, range 1. That sounds great, except 2 damage is not enough to kill a town. We need 3. So that's going to be a thing to consider as well. We're going to go with Shadows. Can I draw better for Shadows? Oh, that's the card of dreams. It's really good. So the land thrashes a furious pain. It has a moon and a fire. Like to see that. 2 damage for blight in target land, plus 1 damage for blight in adjacent lands. And if I have 3 moon and 3 earth, repeat in an additional repeat in an adjacent land. That's fantastic. Song of Sanctity is the minor power, not as great. It has none of the elements I want. If target land has explorers, push all explorers. Otherwise, remove 1 blight. So it could be a way to help manage the blight situation. So that's done. Now major power and minor power for Earth. Infinite Vitality. That is such an Earth card. It has an Earth and a plant, which I really like. It range 1 away from a sacred site. Dahan have plus 4 health, while on the target land, whatever blight would be added to target land, instead leave it on the card. If I have 4 earth, Dahan ignore damage and destruction effects, remove 1 blight from target or adjacent land. That's great. And now the minor power. That's not great. Land of Haunts and Embers. 2 fear, push up to 2 explorers or towns. If target land has blight, plus 2 fear, push up to 2 more explorers or towns. And then add a blight. That's not exactly what I want to do. So not the most amazing of starting powers. So I'm going to take these and put these over here underneath my power cards. So yeah, we'll try to keep this as orderly as possible. There's a lot going on the screen, so just kind of bear with me, and we will adventure forth. It is time. It is time to embark on a journey that we'll never forget. And I don't know why I've turned the spirits into pirates, but go with it. So let's set up the invader deck, because it's not time to embark yet. I actually have 1 more thing to do. That's kind of important. It's just the mechanic that drives the game forward. We're gonna get. I rolled a 4, so we're taking out the 4th card here. So we have 5 level 3 cards. We're gonna do this. I rolled a 6, that's useless. I rolled a 2, that comes out. There's 4 level 2 cards. And honestly, I hope one of them is a Coastal Lands card because, the more builds you can avoid, the better. And I rolled that. That's a 6. Garbage. That's a 5. Garbage. That's a 1. Out. Here we go. The initial Explorer is in Jungles. All right, so again, we have to have a source even during setup. So there is a source of explorers there. There is a source of explorers there. So we have 2 explorers there, which is super interesting. There is not a source to this jungle. There's a source over here because it's on the coast. There's not a source to that jungle. There's a source here. I moved the card into the build space already. So remember, we're building here and here, which is a wee bit not ideal. But I think I'm going to have a really good use for, I'm going to have an amazing use for Raging Storm on turn 1, which is rather unusual. And I think I'm going to go with that. So why not? Build. Yeah, I just want to get rid of these builds. Oh, I'm not going to have enough energy. I could do that. 3. Get +1 range. Oh, I could play this and this. Sure. So I'm going to go with lightning. I'm going to take just going to do growth option 3. I usually prefer growth option 1, but I got an idea. So we'll see if I can pull this off correctly. So I'm going to play Raging Storm and Shatter Homesteads because I'm going to put this presence range 1. I will put this into land. I'm not going to have that either. Woof. But I can have a fast power next turn. Yeah, I think I just play 1 card. I'll put this in 5, and I'm just going to get the 3 energy from the growth option. Hold on 1 sec. Yeah, so I get the 3 energy from the growth option. I'm going to get 2 energy from the presence track. And I'm just going to play Raging Storm and not play anything else. That does give me 1 air, so that gives me the first level of Exaltation of the Stormwind. And that should set me up pretty well for the next turn. So Raging Storm is in play, and that is all the growth options for Lightning. We're going to go Shadows. Shadows is going to do growth option 3. We're going to add a presence bottom track. We're going to make a Sacred Site in 5. And I'm going to play 2 cards. I definitely want to get the first level of Darkness Swallows the Unwary. So I'm going to play Crossweather and Fade. It's interesting. I play Favors Called Due. Makes some sense. And then I'm going to play Crossweather and Fade. Does not make sense. I'll play Mantle of Dread. Remember, getting 3 energy from the growth option, 1 energy from the presence track. We need to change in this 3 for 3 1s. And we have that. And that gives me 2 moon and 1 earth, or 1 fire. That gives me the first level of Darkness Swallows the Unwary. Earth. Earth is going to go bottom track. It's going to add a presence range 1 from where it has presence. We'll go there. It's going to get 2 energy from the growth option. It's going to get 2 energy from the presence track. And we're going to get 2 cards. I really don't like the cards I have for him. Oh, that's interesting. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work the way I want it to. Two slow powers fast. Should be alright if I use that, and oh, I don't. That land of haunts and embers is not the minor power of dreams for Earth over here. But I definitely want to get the money. Year of perfect stillness probably doesn't make sense. Infinite vitality. Could just do this, try to get extra money. Gets me up to 4. Because then maybe I can do some skipping, play some infinite vitality. 2 damage. Do some fastness. Ooh, that's cool. Alright, we'll get rid of all the innermost explorers. That'd be pretty strong. So I'm just going to play 1 card. I'm actually going to go top track. Oops. I already did that. I'm going to go top track. So I'm only doing 1 card play. So I'm going to get 3 energy from the presence track. And then we're going this. So I'm downplaying. I could have done 2 power cards with both Earth and Lighting. I'm just doing 1 instead. It's totally fine. I think this makes the most sense. So I'm going to do Wind. Let me check the chat. Hold on. Where is the Druid? Good luck traveling again, as usual. Here to say hi. Hello, Sagic. Good to see you, sir. We'll be back to Maze Night next week, I promise. All right, Wind. You and Target Spirit may each make one of your non-major slow powers fast. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to give Shadows the ability to do Mantle of Dread. Mantle of Dread is going to generate 2 fear. Target any spirit. I'm going to target Lightning, and target spirit may push 1 explorer and 1 town from one of their lands. So we're going to push this explorer from there to there. There were no towns to push, so we just pushed the explorer. We're going to do this innate power. Darkness swallows the unwary. This is fast. We're going to yeah. So be a little clearer. So Wind, Wind gave a Wind targeted Shadows. Shadows can do one of their slow powers fast, one of their minor powers fast, one of their slow minor powers fast, and Lightning also will be able to do one of their slow minor powers fast. Shadows has this fast power. So Mantle of Dread was the slow minor power that Shadows made fast. Now we're doing this power, which is already fast. There's going to be 2 Moon and an Earth, and we're going to gather 1 explorer into a land 1 away from a sacred site. We're going to gather this explorer from there to here. Now, again, Lightning still has the ability to do 1 of their slow minor powers fast. We're going to do Raging Storm. We're going to do 1 damage to each invader here and kill all 4 of those explorers, which is really nice. Again, clearing out the center as much as we possibly can. This is slow. Earth only has slow powers, and again, Lightning targeted shadows to make that fast, so this still has to be slow. We still have this reach thing, probably not going to matter. It just is what it is. All right, we're going to go to the invader phase. So there would be Blighted Island effect. There is none. There are no event cards. I guarantee I'm going to say event card at some point and be like, oh wait, there are none. I forgot. So just bear with me on that. We don't have to worry about the level 6 England until there actually is a card on the high immigration tile. So there obviously is not yet. So we're just going to go ahead and do the invader. We have no earned fear cards, obviously. So we're going to do the invader steps. The invaders are going to build. The invaders are going to build here. There's nothing to build here, and it's not adjacent to 2. We're going to build here. There's nothing to build here, and there's not adjacent to 2. There's nothing to build here. It's only adjacent to 1 city. And we're going to build here. Explore step. We're exploring into sands. There is a source in 6. There is a source in 2. There is a source. There is not a source. There is a source to 7. Stop lying, Greg. There is not a source to here. There is a source to 4. There is a source to 4. Invader cards are going to advance, and now we do our slow powers. That's interesting. Okay, I'm going to do Draw the Fruitful Earth. I'm going to gather up to 2 Dahan and 2 Explorers into land 2. Fantastic. I'm going to do Favors Called Due. I'm going to gather up to 4 Dahan into land 1. Again, 1 away from Shadows has presence. Now, if there are invaders present and there are more Dahan than invaders, we get 3 fear. If there are 4 Dahan, there are 3 invaders. So that's 3 fear. 1, 2, and 3. So we have 5 fear earned, 10 to go before we get our first fear card, and that's it. So I never actually used my reach ability, and now we're going to go to time passes. I'm going to put all the energy away. And we're going to go back to growth. We got some things to brew it. So I'm going to do growth option 2 for lightning. Lightning is going to add 2 presence. One's going to be range 2, one's going to be range 0. I'm going to add a bottom and a top. Oh. And I'm going to add both of them into land 4. What is the 4 for? And we're going to do 3 card plays with lightning, and I think we're going to do Lightning's Boon, Shattered Homesteads, and Rouse the Trees and Stones. I might change my mind to Harbingers of Lightning, but for now, this is going to be good. I'm going to get 2 energy from the Presence track. Remember, I got 5 energy last turn and only used 3 for Raging Storm. We're going to put 2 energy, 1 and 1. Excellent. Shadows. Shadows is going to do growth option. I think we just still load up on money. We started with 2 extra power cards. Don't think there's a huge benefit. Land Flat Thrashes and Furious Pain is great because of the elements, but we're not going to actually use it all that much anytime soon. But as the land goes to crap, that could be helpful. As the land goes to crap, I say. All right, we're going to. I gotta get the energy. I'm gonna be so energy poor at some point. So I'm gonna get 3 energy from the growth, 1 from the presence. I'm going to add a presence within range 3. Ooh, I could do that. That I like. I get 3 card plays. And then I just plan on reclaiming. That I also like. Yeah, I'll do 3 card plays. So I'll add this from bottom track. And we will add this presence. This means I will be reclaiming next turn, which is fine. Paying 4 for land thrashes is just not going to make a lot of sense anytime soon. And I'm going to add this presence into land. 3 away from my half presence. I'll end as a land 6. This costs 1. This costs 1. We have the elemental threshold for this. So we have the first level of darkness, palsy, and worry. I know I'm not using these dice for these elements. It's not that confusing yet, so I think I'm just going to go with it. We do have 3 fire and 2 air up here, by the way, so that's going to give us that. We have 1 air here. We don't have the 3 air to get level 2, but we have level 1 of exaltation of the storm winds. So that will be helpful. And now we go to Earth. Earth is going to add a presence. Does this give you more energy? I think we do. We have to get a second card play, so we'll get bottom track, 2 energy from the growth, 3 energy from the presence track. I'm going to give myself a sacred site in land 5. I'm playing 2 cards. I'm going to play Rituals of Destruction and Infinite Vitality. And Ritual of Destruction is not a major power, so I can absolutely make that fast. That's bananas. All right. ID Jester, hi Solo and chat, how's it going? Seems like a pretty deep mission here. 2 spirits and 3 board. What is this madness? David R. Oh, I didn't know there's a 3rd spirit. 3 spirits solo. Yeah, David, it's nuts. Jester, yeah, I think there are 3 spirits. Just got here a bit ago. Yeah, 3 spirits. We're doing Guard the Isle's Heart, base game only. 3 spirits, except for aspect cards, and we're going against England 6. David R. Yeah. So I would only do this for the scenario. I actually reached out. We're at some point, the guys from Kindred Spirit Podcast and I are going to do something together, but we just weren't able to get it together in time for this. But yeah, it would have been really fun to do this with those 2 guys. But I just really wanted to get through the aspects, and I only have one more scenario to go after this, which is that one, that really cool one. Now Blitz is the one I still need to do. Okay. I do actually have the first level of Gift of Strength. So once this turn, target. Oh, this is going to cost me 8. So it gives me. I'm going to keep making change to kind of keep things simplified. Once per turn, target spirit may repeat 1 power card with energy cost of 1 or less. That's a fast power, so I have to assign that to a power in the fast power phase. And then we have the 1. We have the 2 earth here, 2 plant, and then I have 1 sun and 2 earth. So my damage and powers deal +1 this turn, which is awesome. All right, I'm gonna do wind. I'm gonna give 1. I'm gonna target another spirit. I'm gonna target earth. You and target spirit may each make 1 of your non-major slow powers fast. We're gonna make this fast. So I'll put that over here. Somebody can repeat something. I'm not sure where I'm going to go with that yet, but I'm going to make Shatter Homesteads fast. Shatter Homesteads has serious range, so maybe I don't make that one fast. I'm going to make the Thundering Destruction fast, so I've used that. So that is a non-major slow power. And I'm going to destroy a town within range 1 of a sacred site. We're destroying this town. That's a fear. So 6 fear down. I'm going to do, Lightning's Boon might be useless. Lightning's Boon is not useful, so I'm going to actually change it out with Harbingers to save this $1, and it's the same elements. Nice. Lightning's Boon is useless. Yeah, I don't see why I would want to do the rest of that fest. Oh, I could do... No, that's not helpful. Yep, not going to make it fast. We're good. Presence, explore. Yeah. I'm going to do Darkness Swallows the Unwary. I do want to prevent this. No, do I care about that build? I don't like the idea of having all the sources towards the center. I can do Shatter Homesteads on whatever this town builds. I just don't want a building there. This, I'm going to be able to do some cool stuff with Crops Wither and Fade. So, yeah, I'm going to do Darkness Swallows the Unwary. I'm going to target a land 1 away from a sacred site. I'm going to target 7 and then gather that explorer there. Oh, 4's still going to build. Never mind. 4's still going to build because it's adjacent to 2 structures. Where would not build? 7 wouldn't build. That's fine. Yeah, I'm going to target land 3 and gather there. So I use Darkness Swallows the Unwary to target land 3 and gather. That guy can build this fine. I have presence there. And also remember, I can ignore range once a turn, which I'm going to do with Concealing Shadows. So Concealing Shadows, I'm going to generate 1 fear off the top. I'm going to target a land range 0. I can ignore a range requirement now, so I'm actually going to do this ability, which is the Breakthrough Ephemeral Distance, and I'm going to have that in effect in land 1. Dahan suffered no damage this turn. Now the land will still blight, but the Dahan won't suffer any damage, and they'll be able to fight back, which is awesome. What other fast powers do I have? So I still have 1 fast power with Earth. That was, well, plus Infinite Vitality, plus somebody can repeat a power card. I'm going to do Rituals of Destruction fast. Now 2 damage, so you can target a land 1 away from a sacred site that has Dahan. So 2 damage, but there are 3 Dahan there, so it's actually 5 damage. But remember, Earth moves with Vigor and Might. It's actually 6 damage because I have 1 Sun and 2 Earth. So 6 damage. I'm going to destroy all these dudes. So that's 2 fear for destroying the city. Remember, the city had 4 health, and each of the explorers had 2. And now I'm going to do Infinite Vitality. Dahan have 4 health in the land, and Blight would be added. Instead, we leave it on the card, so that's helpful. And now somebody can repeat a power card. We will town. Who wants to repeat a power card? I'm gonna give Lightning the ability to repeat Rouse the Stone. That will go very well because now it can do 2 damage twice, which is super sick. I can knock out one of those cities. I still didn't want to make it fast though. So lots of cool things happening here. All right. Heart from David R. Hit that like button, everybody. Thank you, Jester. Do you find the base game easier or harder than a game with all the expansion stuff? I know it's more complicated with all the expansion stuff, but is it a difficulty of the game harder as well? I find the base game easier because it's so much more predictable. I mean, it's very mathy. It is very deterministic, and I think if you're an experienced player, you just go in and you just kind of know what you do. Now it's so matchup dependent, it's so spirit dependent, it's so adversary dependent. But I think the base game alone is easier because again, there's so much less to calculate. There are things. I mean, that said, there are things in the expansions that isolates very strong. Badlands can be very strong. The more tools you have at your disposal, and the more you know how to use them, obviously, I think the expansions do have times where it's like there's a little bit of more swinginess to it because you have all these other things going on. But the events, no doubt, make things harder. I mean, some of the adversaries like Russia is super hard. I mean, England's still probably the hardest, but like Russia will really mess with you and give you a different way to have to play the game. So, I mean, it's a very complicated analysis, but I would still say the determinism and the predictability of the base game makes it an overall easier game for an experienced player. All right, I think with this specific scenario, the base game only is probably a little bit harder just because the events can really make this scenario kind of cheesy. That said, there are some events that would basically cause an auto loss in this scenario in a way that's like not very fun. But that's that. That's all my fast powers. So now we're gonna go to the the adversary phase. So I have no fear cards. We're getting there, and we have. We don't have to worry about, again, level 6 of England yet because there's nothing in the high immigration tile. So that's fine. No events because, who's playing with events? So we're going to go to Ravage. Infinite Vitality is active here. My Dahan have 6 health. This town is attacking for 2. The Blight stays on the card. The Dahan retaliate, kills that town. That's 1 fear. So a lot of cool things there. Let me get these reminders off the board to clean things up. The invaders are ravaging for 6 over here. That's going to cause a blight, but remember, concealing shadows combined with breach through ephemeral, it's going to be a really tough word for me today. Ephemeral distance means that the Dahan are not taking damage. The Dahan are going to retaliate. They're retaliating 8, which is enough to kill the city, which has 4 health, the town, which has 3, and the explorer, which has 1. That's going to be 3 fear. So we have 2 fear left. To go to our first fear card, we're going to take this reminder token off. Ravaging 1 in land 3, so Dahan retaliate, kill that explorer. Those are all the ravage actions. We now go to build. We're building in land 2, so we have a town and a city there. Again, that's super bad with England. We get a town in land 6. We get a town in land 4. 1, 2, 3, all 3 of those sands, they are not adjacent to 2 structures, and they have nothing in there to build. And I'm going to need to get another drink real quick. Tis that time of year, kids, the cold, dry air, which I love, by the way. I am made to be on a mountain in an igloo. So it's kind of where I want. That's, if I could stream from there, sign me up. All right, so that's done. We are now going to go to the build step. Nope, we already did that. We're going to go to the explore step. It's the final stage 1 card. We're exploring into wetlands. So this is interesting. We get explorer there. We get an explorer here. We get an explorer here. Wetlands is not ideal. Mountains would have been a little bit better because there is a source to all 6 of the wetlands on the board, which is rough. There might have been a source to all the mountains too, but I just like their location. We have 2 now coming into that center, and it's going to really start messing with us. And remember, starting next turn, we're going to have the escalation build for most of these cards, and we're going to start having the high immigration tile build as well. So lots of stuff to consider. I am going to do Shattering Homesteads. I'm going to get 1 fear off the top, and I'm going to destroy a town. Now, the extra health does not matter. This is not Habsburg. This is not like a durable mechanic. And I'm going to destroy a town here, which is another fear, which is our first fear card. So again, we've satisfied England level 6 for the next turn at least. I am going to do Crops Wither and Die. I'm going to get 2 fear off the top. And then we're going to turn this town into an explorer. I'm going to use Song of Sanctity. I'm going to target land 1 away. It has to be a mountains or a jungle. If target land has explorers, push all explorers. Otherwise, remove a blight. I'm going to remove a blight from there, put it back on the card. So all of the powers with shadows are done. I'm going to do Rouse the Trees and Stones. Now remember, I can repeat that because of Gift of Strength. I'm going to do 2 damage in land 2. And then I'm going to repeat that power. So I'm going to do 2 damage in land 2, kill the city. So it took care of all 4 of the health of that city. And that's 2 fear. And we have Harbingers of the Lightning. I'm going to push 1 away from where I have presence. I can push to Dahan. If I get a fear, if I push it into a place with a city or a town. Yeah, maybe I just want to get these Dahan more active, I think. Nah, it's probably stupid. Push up to 2 Dahan. You know what? I'll push 1 Dahan here and 1 Dahan there before I kill the city, just to get the fear. So just going back and just kind of changing the order of how I did that. I have to target a land 1 away from where I have presence. And those are all of my powers. Yeah, I'm covered. I already covered that because I did that as a fast power thanks to Exaltation of the Storm Wind. And I'm going to... I'm gonna have another coughing fit. How did you get a 3rd hand for this? It's magic, dude. It's I made a deal with Cthulhu. He he gave me one of his tentacles as a 3rd hand. Clearly, all right. So this is gonna go here. These are out. Just gonna putting all energy back. But I could reset that. This goes here, and we have 3 cities left on the board. So we've taken care of 3 of them, which is very nice. This can come off. This comes over to you, and we'll get that done. Woo! All right. Do I have to reclaim? Yes, I have to reclaim a shadows. Almost definitely. Do I want to reclaim? I mean, entwined power is just not exciting me. The major power draws were rather disappointing, considering. Land Thrashers and Furious Pain is great if we go to crap a little bit, but apparently we're on top of things for now. I could do that. Alright. I really don't want that build to happen. I'm just not in that region. Could do that. Yeah, I don't hate it. What is it? 2-5. Fed 4. Have to do a reclaim. Alright, I'm going to do growth option 3 with Earth, because that's the only one I really know what I'm doing with so far. And I will do top track. I think I need to get up to that 6 energy a turn, because all this stuff is so expensive. I'm going to put a presence there. I am going to get 4 energy from the presence track, 2 energy from the growth option, and I have 2 card plays. We're going to play Land of Haunts and Embers and A Year of Perfect Stillness. 3 energy, 0 energy. It's going to add a blight with Land of Haunts. I'm turning this 3 into a 3-er, just to kind of keep better track of my energy. We're going to do a reclaim option with shadows. We're going to gain a power card. I will gain a minor. I'm going to get 1 energy from the presence track, so I'll take that now. So we have Delusions of Danger, Reaching Grasp, Uncanny Melting, And enticing splendor. I definitely want one of the two things with the moon, just because I want to keep triggering darkness swallows and rary as much as possible. I would like a moon fire combo. It just was not meant to be. Push an explorer. I like that. Delusions of danger it is. The more explorers I can control, the better. These are out. Actually, I'm going to have to keep these close. I'm going to have to reshuffle those at some point. And now I'm picking 3 power cards. If I can get up to Terra level 2, that'd be great. Or the Darkness Walls and Wary level 2. Play Crops Wither and Die. Delusions of Danger. And I have a 3rd card play. I'm going to play Mantle of Dread. That way I can get up to level 2 of my innate. It costs me 3. I'm going to have to change this up. 1, 2, 3. And now Lightning. Might reclaim. Yeah, I'm gonna reclaim. I only have 1 level. Ugh. It's fine. We're reclaiming. I'm gonna gain a power card. I get 1 energy from the growth option, 2 from the presence track. Minor powers. Dark and Tangled Wood, 2 fear. If your target land is a mountain or a jungle, defend 3. Elemental boon. Target spirit gets 3 different elements of their choice. If you target another spirit, you also gain the elements. Oh, hello. Lore of the Unknown. Gathering Explorer a town. Target land cannot have invaders. And then Gift of Power. Yeah, that's an elemental dream, and it costs 0. That is absolutely what I would like. So I'm going to play Raging Storm, Lore of the Unknown, and Harbingers of the Lightning. We're going to get this 3 into a 3 and charge that up. That's going to give me the 1st and 2nd level of Exaltation of the Stormwind and the 1st level of Thundering Destruction. Alrighty then, because this is looking like a mess, kids. Absolute mess. Ravage. You know, I should have last turn pushed this Dahana to there. I didn't think about it. That was silly. I want to make that fast. That's slow. It's a target a land without invaders. For that, I can push. And at the 1st and 2nd level of this. Alright, we're going to do Delusions of Danger. I'm going to push this here. That's fine. I'm going to do Raging Storm. I'm going to destroy these 2 explorers. I'm going to do Lore of the Unknown. I'm going to gather this here. Those are all fast powers. Oh, I made this one fast with this, and now I can target another spirit. So I should have done Exaltation of the Stormwind first. I will make Mantle of Dread fast. Yeah, I'm going to make Mantle of Dread fast as well. So that's 2 fear. And I'm going to target, so Exaltation of the Stormwind targeted Shadows. Shadows is going to target Lightning with Exaltation, Mantle of Dread. And that's going to allow, instead of gathering Lord, oh yeah, I had to do that. That's going to allow no, Shadows is going to target himself with Mantle of Dread because he's going to push a explorer and a town from his own land. That is going to leave this alive. Leave this is still going to build because it's next to this. It's next to 2, but that's fine. Let's get that explorer out of there. No, I like the original way. I'm going to target Lightning with Mantle of Dread. We're going to push this sucker over there. Right. Lore of the Unknown. This stayed there. I haven't played Lore of the Unknown yet. I'm going to do Mantle of Dread. I can push from here because Lightning has presence there too. We're going to push that there. And then Lore of the Unknown, I'm going to gather this there because I have to gather into a place that doesn't have any invaders. So that works better. Now this is only going to ravage 1, and we're not going to build in land 2, which is perfect. Although once we have that revealed, we might actually get 2 there anyway. Woof. England is a mess. Well, it could be coastal lands. If it's coastal lands, it's actually not terrible. Oh, but that comes out at the end of that comes out after all the other steps. Yeah, we're totally fine. We're gonna do Darkness Swallows the Unwary. I'm gonna target a land 1 away from a sacred site. I'm gonna target here, and then I'm gonna destroy up to 2 I can gather and explore. And now I'm gonna destroy up to 2 explorers. I'm gonna destroy these 2. I get 1 fear per explorer destroyed. So that's done. I still have that, but that's going to be slow. Harbingers of Lightning is going to be slow. Crops Wither and Fade is going to be slow, which is perfect, actually, because I can use that for the town that's going to build there. And now we have Earth. Earth is going to use Lands and Haunts and Embers. It's going to generate 2 fear off the top. It's going to target a land 2 away from its presence. I'm going to target here. We're going to push up to 2 explorers or towns. We're going to push this sucker here. And then we're going to add a Blight. And now we're going to play Land of Perfect Stillness, Year of Perfect Stillness. And we are going to say that nothing happens here, so they're not going to build there. Jonathan laughs. Madi, what's up, Madi? How are you? What fresh hell is this? I get a headache with 3 spirits, even with 3 players. What are you doing to yourself? So this was the most confusing part, so I'll just kind of explain this again. How this worked. I was basically able to how did I do this? Something happened. I had 2 explorers there somehow. I think I had 2 there, 1 there, 1 there, which made sense. So I destroyed 2 explorers with Raging Storm. I used Mantle of Dread to target Lightning to push that there, and then I used Lore of the Unknown to gather this into there. So now nothing's going to build here, and the Ravage 1 there isn't going to matter. So it's nice when you're playing without the events. You don't have to worry about, oh, is it going to be bumped up? Is it going to be a Ravage 2? We never have to worry about that, which is totally good. So board's looking decent. Again, though, England's about to go into overdrive with a bunch of builds. So we're going to have our work cut out for us. Now remember, Crops Wither and Fade. We also still have access to Reach. So that once a turn, I can just absolutely ignore range. So there might be, I'm thinking I'm going to do this here in land 5, but I might end up doing this somewhere else for sure. So let's get to the invader phase. So there is no Blighted Island effect. We don't have to worry about that. There is no event card because, I'm not playing with those. And now we have this, Dahan and Hearted. Dahan enheartened. Each player may push one Dahan from a land with invaders or gather one Dahan into a land with invaders. So I'm going to gather this Dahan into here, a land with invaders. We're going to gather this Dahan into here, a land with invaders. Again, the more of these suckers that we can just, wipe out in ravages, the better. And then I'm going to gather a Dahan into here, just kind of getting ready for next turn. So all three of my spirits have done this, and now we do the invader steps. Build. Shoot. We're adjacent to 2 here. England. That would be a loss. Bam. I missed it. That's already fast. All right. Instead of doing this, I'm going to have this guy here. And I would have gathered this one here anyway. I'm going to let that build happen. That's fine. I'm not going to do Mantle of Dread fast. I'm going to do Crops, Wither, and Fade fast. And then I'm going to ignore my range. And remember, I can do it fast because of wind. Oh, and remember, we had 3. I don't even have to use this because all of our spirits, all of our powers have range 1 additional. This is actually better. I'm going to turn this town into an explorer and gain 2 fear there. And that's going to actually prevent a build there and there. That's actually totally better. So, let's review. Had I done what I did, this was going to build there because there were 2 towns adjacent. There was a town and a city adjacent to land 4. That would have been awful. So we had to prevent that. So what I had done before was I used Mantle of Dreadfast using the Exaltation of the Stormwind. And then I used that to push an explorer from there to there. I decided that was dumb. So instead, and then I just stormed to there, yeah, which was dumb. And then I actually used Lore of the Unknown to gather this from here to there. Instead, since there's no invaders here, I use Lore of the Unknown to push this there. I'm going to leave this sucker there. It's just going to build a town. And then instead of doing Mantle of the Dread fast, because again, Exaltation of the Stormwind, I did Crops, Wither, and Die fast. I had +1 range because again, I was the target spirit from this power, and we have 3 air, which means that you and target spirit may each gain +1 with all of your powers this turn. Excellent. So this is now made fast, plus its range 1 instead of range 0. I generated 2 fear, and I could turn the town into an explorer. Often you use this card to turn cities into towns, but since I'm trying to prevent England from having structures on the board, making that town into an explorer was a lot better. So now we can do the invader steps. This changed none of my analysis with the Han and Heartened. It would have been the same exact thing. So now we go to the build step. We're not adjacent to 2, so that doesn't build. Yeah, this way is so much better. It prevents 3 builds. So I should have seen that. I just missed it. So we're not adjacent to 2, not adjacent to 2, not adjacent to 2, not adjacent to 2, not adjacent to 2. Invaders skip all steps. So literally nothing built because of the high immigration tile, and that's super awesome. We're now going to go to the Ravage step. Ravaging 1, retaliate, destroy. Ravaging 1, retaliate, destroy. Ravaging 5, blight. Nothing to ravage here, nothing. We're good. We go to the build step. We are going to build a town here. Not adjacent to 2, not adjacent to 2, not adjacent to 2, not adjacent to 2. We're building a town here. Explore step. Sands. So, first things first, on each board with cities and towns, which are all 3 of them, we build in the land with the most cities or towns. That's only going to be here, so I'm building a town in land 2. It's going to be here, I'm building a town in land 1, and now on board A, I can either build a town in 1 or a city in 3. I would build a town in 1. Now we go with the normal explore. We're going to explore into land 2. We're exploring into land 7. There is not a source for 4. There is not a source for 7. And we explore into 4. Invader cards advance. So we have a sands, wetlands, sands situation brewing. We are going to now do Mantle of Dread is still a thing. So I still have Mantle of Dread available. I still have Harbingers of Lightning. Remember, this is range 2. I still have Thunder and Destruction, so I could destroy a town, which makes some sense, because I never used that. Remember, I made Raging Storm fast. So I'll destroy this town. That's a fear. So that took care of Thunder and Destruction, so that's done. Yeah, I would have liked to have wiped out one of these suckers and get all the towns or cities off of one board, so we don't have to worry about the escalation, because the escalation doesn't apply if there are no towns and cities. So, yeah, because right now, with the way that exists, that's going to be a double build there, because it's adjacent to 2. So that Explorer needs to go. So let me get the Explorer off, and then we'll see if I can kill that town as a fast power next turn. So I'm going to do Mantle of Dread, 2 Fear. And I can target Spirit may push an Explorer in town from one of their lands. We'll just push this Explorer from there, because it is one of Lightning's lands. So we obviously targeted Lightning with that power. Harbingers of Lightning, I can push up to 2 Dahan. Remember my range is +1, so I'm going to push these 2 Dahan into here, and generates 1 fear because I pushed it into a land with cities and towns. So that's our second fear card of the game. We have 2 more to get to stage 2, and now that I have a fear card there, we will have satisfied level 6 of England for next turn. I have no more powers. That is it. So the 1s go away. The 3s are going to come here. This can go back to Lightning. We're going to take these over there. These come down to Shadows discard pile. This will come back here with this, and we're good. Woo! All right. The most colorful way to watch a man fight spreadsheets. What's up, Jesus? How are you? I guess that's what I'm doing. All right, let's make this happen, kids. We are going to. It kind of does look like a spreadsheet, actually. It's really funny. We are going to go to growth. I need to get more presence on the board as Lightning, and Lightning is not too eager to get up to 4 card plays. So again, I can't do all of them fast anyway. So we do want to get up to more energy though. So I'm going to go to growth option B, and we're going to jump from 2 to 4 energy in a turn, which is huge. So I'm going to add a presence. I'm basically going to add a sacred type somewhere on the board, because again, it's range 2 and range 0. I don't think it matters. I might do a repeat of turn 2. That worked pretty well. I don't love this, but I should be able to deal with that as this heals. This heals. I'll make a sacred site here, because I think that land 4 being just one remove from the coast makes that super dangerous in this scenario, as we learned last turn. I'm going to get 4 energy from the presence track. I'm going to take it all in singles because I'm going to need it. None from the growth option. And here we go. So entwined power, not really working. 2, 1, and 1. Shadows. Shadows are going to do some shadowy things. Shadows still doesn't have a real good use for that. What the heck is rabbiting this turn? Oh, that's sick. Could do that. I like it. I don't love it. All right. We're going to do growth option C. I'm going to get 3 energy from the growth option. I'm going to put this presence on the board, get 3 energy from the presence track. This costs 4. This gets 1. Zach, if you're still there, tell Joe we're on for 4:30. Sorry, I just got a text. Who's Joe? Who's Zach? Yeah, it's it's a thing. I'm gonna add this presence here. Range 3. I think that makes sense. Yeah, I think I can wipe out everything there. If I can just really clear off Shadows board, I feel good about that. Alright, I had the first level of Darkness Palsy and Wary. Let's go back over here. I actually do not have the +1 range from the Exaltation of the Stormwind, but I do have the first level of that, and I have the first level of Thundering Destruction. Earth. What's Earth doing? That's a good question, kids. I think Earth Reclaiming. 2, 3, 4. I want to wipe all those suckers out, man. Yeah, Earth Reclaiming. Gaining a presence. I'm going to put this presence range 2. I want to get over to someone else's board. Will come. I just don't want to go to no man's land. I'll come here. No, I want to remove Blight, I think, from there. Come here. I think lightning's eventually going to start pounding those suckers. So we get 6 energy from the presence track. I have 2 card plays. We're going to do the same 2 we did before, because I like it. We're going to get, we're going to pay for these 2. We have the first level of this, and we have the first 2 levels of this. Deejus, hey, seen all the solo mage night rounds. I finally caught you live. Big fan. Thank you, sir. Just wish there were more game options for us solo spreadsheet gamers. Nice. All right. We are gonna do some magical things, I think. Maybe. Sort of. Where did I add? I'm gonna target Earth with this. With exaltation. So lightning can do 2 powers fast. Lightning is going to do the thunder and destruction fast. Lightning can do 1 power fast. It's going to do thunder and destruction fast and destroy this town. That's a fear. And now Earth can do ritual destruction fast. There's 3 Dahan there, so it's going to be 2 damage plus 3 damage plus 1 damage because of might, so 6 damage wiping out this city. Should I just do that? No, I'll wipe out these 2 towns. That's better. Wiping out those 2 towns, again, reducing the number of structures there. That's 2 fear. Oh, and it's 2 fear off the top. I'm pretty sure I forgot to do that before. I did not take the 2 fear before. I've only played this card once, and I don't think it would have mattered with order of fear cards. Yeah, it's if there's 3 Dahan, it's 5 damage, and it's 2 fear off the top. If I took that 2 fear before, someone can let me know, but I'm pretty sure I forgot to do that because the way that card's written, I wish that was a separate line because it's a lot to read, especially when you're 3-handing this sucker. I'm going to it's ravaging 4. That's great. I'm going to do infinite vitality there, so Dahan have 6 health, and blight will not be added to that land. Kind of makes Sealing Shadows kind of pointless. Yeah, because Sealing Shadows is now pointless. I'm going to play Song of Sanctity instead. It doesn't change my elements. For Darkness Walls again, Wary. Two structures there is fine. That Ravage will kill that Explorer. I still have Reach. I'm going to gather this Explorer here. It's 1 away from a Sacred Site. These are all slow. I have Lightning's Boon though. I can do something fast. We already did this. I can play an additional card by paying 1 energy for this cost. I have not found level 1 of that all that helpful. I don't really like to do that, so I'm just gonna chill with what I got. Yet this Explorer there, which isn't doing much of anything. I have Lightning's Boon. I mean, I could give someone fast powers. I don't think there's any advantage to doing that, so I won't. I just basically played it for its elements. I have to figure out what I'm doing with this. Somebody can repeat a power paying its costs, but the card has to cost 1 or less. Guess I do that with Earth. Lightning doesn't have the money, so I can do Favors Call do twice just to generate some fear over here. Deegis, I know you and your partner played some games together. Have you found anything that scratches the co-op competitive hybrid? It's like Mage Knight. ANZ didn't hit great in my playgroup of 3 or 4. Apology for distracting your 3-player solo madness. Yeah, Sarah and I don't play a lot of games together these days. She doesn't really like co-op games. But I mean, we played Burgundy last night, so she still likes games where she kicks my ass, which of course she kicked my ass in Burgundy again last night. But like, yeah, she's more Terraforming Mars, Dominion. Um, we'll play Duel once in a while together. My group, like, we really like Uprising, but that's like a beast of a game. So that's been like a go-to co-op. Arkham Horror, the LCG, like absolutely love that game co-op. So we'll play a lot of that. Obviously we've been going through Jaws of the Lion in the group. Like Frosthaven's arriving this weekend for me, so that's going to be a big co-op game. I mean, it's like the greatest hits, man. I mean, Spirit Island's still the game. We'll get to the table, playing a co-op. Um, yeah, Maze Knight's great co-op. When like a two players. I have only played it 3 players a few times. I'd like it more with two, but I mean it's still such an amazing solo game. It's just that's a long investment, but Uprising is going to be just about as long for sure. Jonathan says Spirit Island is the go-to co-op for me for sure. Stuff like Gloomhaven and FFG Living Card Game are good, but are so large. Yeah, I mean Arkham's a lot to get into now. I would definitely recommend that anyone's interested in Arkham get the base, get the new base set, and get the revised base set, and get Dunwich Legacy. And if you like that, then get Carcosa and Forgotten Age. And honestly, you could probably stop there. I mean, the rest of it's good. It's just not as good for me. Like I just think the game got too bloated. But that's my personal opinion. I say that as today I'm literally going to be playing the Scarlet Keys, which is the latest expansion, and I like it so far. I just the later cycles I feel like I've veered off into a direction I don't love, for sure. D just Spirit Eye is up there, but hoping for something more adventure. Beast of a game is a good thing for us. We all did Gloomhaven. Frosthaven might be the only option. Shucks. Look, it's not. I mean, they're one-offs, but I think Uprising is just a super cool game. It's very interesting. It's not for everybody, but I absolutely adore it. Um, I love its table presence. There's a lot of interesting things that it does. So I definitely would. I check that out. I mean, then there's Cthulhu Death May Die, which is just a dice chucker. In a lot of ways, like Cthulhu Death May Die is a funny thing, is it's like too complicated for like my like intro gamer friends, but it's not like heavy enough for my heavy gamer friends. So it kind of just sits there. So that's like a little frustrating with it, but I really do like it for what it is. What's FFG, LCG? So Fantasy Flight Games. Okay, adding Arkham to the list seems like it has a couple hundred hours before it'd be routine. I haven't heard of Uprising. Gonna look into it now. Yeah, Uprising was the game I did the giveaway for. I think I screwed up and I put Nemesis in the title, but I changed that. But yeah, that's from Nemesis Games. Uprising. Speaking of Nemesis, I did just get a copy of Nemesis in a math trade or in a marketplace transaction at PAX. So I'm super excited to dig into that. But I've heard really good things about co-op. Someone else mentioned Oath, I think, and yes, RNG output the better. Oath and I don't think would get along. That's a Cole Worley game. I mean, if you're really into that political intrigue kind of stuff, like you might love it. I have not liked Root. Root's fine. I didn't love it. Pax from Your Seconds fine. I didn't love it. Like I'd have a hard time like digging into Oath. Like I just don't think it's a game that I'm really interested in. The theme does nothing for me. And some of the mechanics I think are going to be a miss, but I still haven't tried it, so take that with a huge grain of salt. But everything I've learned about it says it's not a game for me for sure. All right, so I think we're good. I think we've done everything fast that we can, right? Or I'm choosing to not use Lightning's Boon. I don't see any upside there. And I think we're about to clear off Earth's board of any structures, which makes me happy. So we're gonna resolve our fear card. Emigration accelerates. Each player removes 1 explorer from a coastal land. Don't mind if I do. They could be, and that one's gonna die anyway. I'll remove these 2 and this one. Again, it could be each player removes it. It doesn't matter where. It doesn't say different lands. So remove 2 from there, 1 from there. That's great. We're gonna do the invader steps. The invaders are going to not build here. They're not going to build there. It's only adjacent to 1, not adjacent to 2, not adjacent to 2, not adjacent to 2. So we're just building in 1 location. We're building a town here. We're ravaging in wetlands. Damage, retaliate, dead. Ravaging 4. Infinite Vitality is in play. The Dahan have 6 health, not injured. So one's like injured, but they don't die. I probably should have flipped one over earlier. They retaliate. No blight gets added because Infinite Vitality. This city's destroyed. 2 fear. Earth's board is wiped clean, which is awesome. That's really going to help, especially as we start seeing the escalations on these stage 2 cards. So Rapid Step is done. Build. Again, we're only building in this sands. So we get another city. And now we explore, and we explore into jungles. We build in the lands with the most cities or towns on each board that has a city or town. So we don't apply this on Earth's board. We get a town here. We get another town here. Now that's 5 of 7. We get 2 more structures there. Game over. We're going to now explore into jungles. It's a really bad exploration. Oh, and that's a problem. We got problems. Oh, how do I prevent that? I need to get rid of an immense amount of structures there. It's going to be hard. So that's going to get an explorer. That's going to be an explorer. That gets an explorer. This gets an explorer. Invader cards advance. Woof. All right. I'm going to target with Song of Sanctity this land, push this explorer here. I mean, I have nothing else matters but wiping out everything here so it doesn't build. I'm going to do the Land Thrashes and Furious Pain, 2 damage plus 1 per blight and adjacent land. So I'm doing 3 damage here, 1 away from where I have presence. The 3 damage is enough to kill 1 town. That's a fear. I don't know how I use these powers on anything else but this. Yup. It is what it is. I'm going to do Shatter Homesteads, 1 fear off the top. Destroy a town. That's another fear. Again, 2 away from a sacred site. And now we only have 3 structures there, which is better. I can target a land that is 1 away from a sacred site that doesn't have blight. I'll wipe out. I don't have extra range because I did not have 3 air this turn. I'll just wipe out this town, this explorer. And now I have this, which I can do twice. There are a lot of suckers in there. If I let that Blight Cascade with Land Thrashes and Furious Pain, that's not the worst idea. I do think it'd be great if I could just wipe all these suckers out. Next turn, if I can clear up both of these boards. Although that might build a town, which is not ideal. I want to get that 3 fear, but I want to get 4 Dahan in there. Yeah, so I'm going to gather 4 Dahan and then gather Dahan into there. There's more Dahan than Explorers and then Invaders, so I get 3 fear. That's with Favors Called Due. That's a fear card, so we've satisfied state level 6 of England, and then I'm going to gather 4 Dahan into there by repeating this power, thanks to Earth. This goes in here. There are obviously more invaders than there are Dahan, so nothing exciting is going to happen there. Time passes. This Dahan is going to heal. This Dahan heals. This will come back here. This will go back to lightning. All the 1s go away. All the 3s go away. Ooh, I could Year of Perfect Stillness it. That's the best way. That is the way. That's the way of the future, kids. So these go up there. Lightning's going to have to reclaim. These can come down here. Shadows is going to have to reclaim. And these are going to go down here. Earth will not reclaim. Woo! All right. Okay, that was an awesome list to go from. Thanks, folks. Yeah, any games with loose diplomacy rules add a layer to the game we try to avoid. Good shout. David says, "Hey, Greg, just got here. This looks brain ending, brain bending. Yeah, best of fortunes. Thank you, Jonathan. Got to go prepare for a meeting. We'll catch the rest later. Looking good at this point. Bye, all. Thank you, Jonathan. Woo! Alrighty then. Well, I'm tired. Am I allowed to say that? Stop saying you're tired. Oh man, what do I want to do? Well, I want Earth's board to stay clean. I mean, we could get some coastal lands action here. I am going to do lightning first. Lightning's going to reclaim, gains 1 energy, plus 4 energy, and gets all their cards back. And I think gains a major because I just want to see what I'm working with. Entwined Power just is never going to work for me. Alright, so we have Vigor of the Breaking Dawn, 2 damage per Dahan. Hello. That's nice. Talons of Lightning is also nice, but it has to target a mountain or a wetland. 6 energy too. It's super expensive. I just don't think I'm ever going to be able to afford it. But it's awesome. Destroy 1 town in each adjacent land. Increase its power's range to 3 if I have 3 and 3. Vigor of the Breaking Dawn makes sense for here, but I think I have other ways to deal with that. So I think I keep Talons of Lightning, because I can use this next turn to some amazing avail. So we're going to get Talons of Lightning for next turn. We're going to forget Entwined Power. And these 4 cards are out. I have 3 card plays. We're going to play We are going to play I don't know. I'm not worried about that because I'm just going to just wipe everything else out next turn with Talons of Lightning. So I'm not even focused on my board right now. Lore of the Unknown is hard because, I mean, I could gather it there just to get the suckers out. To just not have a build there, so I don't hate that. It's also free. Shatter Homesteads would be an interesting fast power because I could wipe this town out and actually prevent the other builds, but honestly I don't mind the builds because the Talons of Lightning and I'm pretty much guaranteed to have the kicker. One damage to each invader. 2 damage has a target. Yeah, if I can clean out this board this turn, that's the way to go. I mean, that's all my energy. Then I would have that next turn. I would have 7 energy next turn too. By adding 1 presence. Yep, I think that makes sense. So we have this for 3, this for 2. And we have the first level of Thundering Destruction. We have the first and second level of Exaltation of the Stormwind. We're going to go here. I have to reclaim. Gaining a power card. I'm only going to get 3 energy, so majors are probably not the way to go. I'll take some minors. We have Gnawing Root Biters, Call to Migrate, Veil the Night's Hunt. Oof, that's super interesting. And Quicken the Earth Struggles. Oh, Defend 10. End my elements. Yelpers. Winner. So I'm playing Quicken the Earth Struggles. For sure. Concealing Shadows. Maybe if I'm defending 10, they're not taking damage anyway. So Crops Wither and Fade. And I will play Mantle of Dread. So I'm going to change this 3 up for 3 1s. And I have the second level of Darkness Swallows the Unwary. And right now this is rabbiting 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's pretty nuts. A Mantle of Dread is probably useless. But I don't think there's another path here. Ooh, I can do Delusions of Danger. I'm worried about getting 15 Fear by next turn. And by keeping Mantle of Dread, it keeps another Moon Fire combo in my hand, which I like. Alright, Earth. What is Earth doing? Earth's going to add a presence. I think we're going to try to get up to 3 card plays. Going to get 2 energy from the growth option, 6 energy from the presence track. And I'll add this presence. It's range 1. I'll add it there, so I get a Sacred Site now on Shadow's board. Do I need to skip? No, I will not need to skip. I should skip here, actually, so it doesn't build there. These are all going to die in Ravage, I think. Yeah, so Invaders skip for 3. I have 1 more card play. That give me +1 damage on my damage dealing powers, so I'm not doing any damage dealing powers. I don't think the rest of these make sense, so is what it is. 3 and 1. That gives me Squadouche over here, and it gives me, again, just the first 2 levels here. I could spend money to play a 3rd card. I don't see the point, although I might change my mind as this starts to unveil itself. So I'm going to gather this Explorer here with Lore of the Unknown. I'm going to do Darkness Swallows the Unwary. I'm going to gather this into a land 1 away from a Sacred Site. I'm going to destroy 2. I get 2 Fear. That was with my Innate. I'm going to generate 2 Fear with Delusions of Danger. Just target any land 1 away from presence. I'm going to do Quicken the Earth Struggles. I'm going to do Reach. Oh, I have 3 air. Oh, interesting. Reach has been like absolutely useless, which is ridiculous. 6. Now I'll use Reach to use Quicken the Earth Struggles here for Defend 10. And I'm going to do Wind to give Draw the Fruitful Earth, make that fast. I can gather 2 Dahan, so we have 6 Dahan in here, so they're all going to be super dead during Ravage. And invaders are going to skip all actions in the wetlands, so they won't build. Again, because that build is going to happen before the ravage. I can make one thing fast up here. I don't mind those building, although they would be putting explorers everywhere. 2, 3, 4, 8. 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 2 explorers would still survive. Let's make sure all this goes away. How much damage is that doing? It's just 5 damage. So we just have a town. Potentially get a Terra level 2 victory. Yeah, let me do a fear. And I'll destroy this town fast. Remember, I can turn one of those things fast. And since I destroyed a town, it's another fear. Or actually, I'll just do Thundering Destruction. So I'll put 1 fear back, and now I still have Shatter Homesteads. It's better to... I know that's range 1. I do have 1 + 1 to all my range powers. So does Earth, but again, Earth doesn't have any more powers to do this turn. So we still have Raging Storm, Shatter Homesteads, and Crops, Wither, and Fade. We're going to go to Invader phase. There are, again, no events, no Blood Island effect. What do we got? Retreat. Each player may push up to 2 explorers from an inland land. I'll push this explorer here so he dies in Ravage. Invader steps. We're skipping all actions here. None of the other wetlands are adjacent to 2 structures, so it won't build. We're ravaging in sands. Dead. It's ravaging 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm defended 10. I'm retaliating 12, which wipes out those 2 cities, that town, and 1 of these explorers. So 2 explorers remain. Oh, there was a town here. That's fine. No, that was a town I just destroyed. My bad. I'm like, there wasn't a town there. I know, it's crazy. It just must have fallen out of my hand. So we have 5 fear for the 2 each for the 2 cities, 1 for the town. So that's 4 fear, a 5th fear. So we're 5 fear away from the next fear card. So Ravage steps are done. We're gonna do the build step. We literally build nowhere, and now we do the explore step. We're exploring to wetlands. The escalation triggers. We put a town there. There are no towns or cities in either of those boards, so we're just putting a town on land 1, and now we explore 1, 2, 3, 4 lands get explorers because of adjacencies. Again, so that's a wetlands is rough because of board D, but I think we'll be okay. And then invader cards advance. We do slow powers. Yeah, I think we will win in the fast phase next turn. I'm going to do 1 damage to each invader. Just get everything out of the inland. I'm going to generate 1 fear and destroy this town. That's another fear. So that's done. And I will... this is going to be useless, but I can target any land and at least just get the 2 fear. I just have no towns or cities to reduce. So we'll go to growth. This comes back. This is here. Done. 2, 3. Done. Done. I'm just not going to belabor this. So let's get to Uh, growth, we're going to do growth option 3 with lightning. I'm going to add this presence here. We get 3 energy plus 4 from the presence track. I'm going to play 1 card, Talons of Lightning. That cost me 6. I'm going to target a mountain 1 away from my presence. I'm going to get 3 fear off the top. That's a fear card. Terror level 3, I do 5 damage. That wipes out that city and that explorer. 2 fear, and that is game over, people. Woo! All right. These spirits are really strong. I mean, the aspects were designed to make the low complexity spirits slightly more interesting and definitely a little bit more powerful, especially shadows. Although reach was pretty useless. These are just these are the right spirits in this game, even against England, and that was cool. That was really really cool. I mean, you definitely see a jump started power spike when you have the extra major, the extra minor, a presence already on the board. We're pretty much already at like mid to late game spirit builds here because we just had that extra energy from the extra presence from the first turn. There was that one turn where I was like, oh, that would have built. So I had to like rethink. But other than that, it never really got very scary, right? We got on top of the boards early. When you can work to, all right, let's get all the towns and cities off of one board so we don't have to worry about these escalation builds. That really helps. There is like a turning point that had we not won here, that again, all of a sudden, like England's going to pound you, right? You start getting the high immigration bills. If you never got a fear card, one of those turns, you got the high immigration bill twice, and now you're just trying to play catch up and trying to like get back on top of it to try to trigger these win conditions. 15 fear is no joke. I mean, we were seriously, what's that? Math to start 71 fear away from terror level 3, right? That's not great. You really want to get to terror level 2 before, again, either this would have been mountains, and then all of a sudden we're in stage 3 cards, and you just have double time. You're starting to you're going to have to struggle to stay on top of things. You know, had we had to go forward, man, I probably, ugh, yeah, like no reclaim one. I don't know what I would have done because I would have wanted to draw the fruitful earth to gather these two. You know, maybe I could have done something with shadows to get darkness swallows the unwary to like gather this sucker. Remember, I can ignore range once a turn with reach. You know, done something to prevent like those two builds that could have been really gross. You know, obviously we had these two weenie explorers there. They're not doing much, but they could have easily built. So I'd have to like figure out. I mean, it has blight. Maybe I take the blight away, and then I do. You know, make this fast, but because of exaltation of the Stormwind, I just do 2 damage and wipe those out. I mean, there was definitely a lot of options that I had. You know, if we totally keep, you know, 2 of these 3 boards clean, and then find a way to kind of put some things together. But yeah, this is pretty nuts. Um, do do do. Wow, we have. Oh my God, are you trying to be the first to die by analysis paralysis? Is Adam. Nemesis is kind of semi co op where you have to cooperate to some extent while being mindful the other person may have the objective to kill you or destroy the ship. Thank you, Madi. Uprising, Arkham, Nemesis, all being looked into, plus any other FFG games that seem neat. We all enjoy the other Isaac Childress games like Forge War and Founders of Gloomhaven 2. I need to play Founders, but my friend had it and just sold it, so my opportunity to play it has gotten a little bit more complicated. No one else feels to nail the math venture energy we crave. Winning together with someone wins more than the others. Because Earth May Die is also great. It is the only game that my girlfriend asked me to play. Every other game is other way around. Nice. Yeah, I wish, you know, Sarah liked any co-ops. I mean, because Earth May Die has that built-in tension, and if you like that cosmic horror vibe at all, like it's a great game. I just don't play it enough. I think at some point I'm just gonna finish off the scenarios in season 2, and then probably to sell it just to make room on my shelves. It is nowhere near the strategic depth of Maze Knight, but I think it is one of the most thematic games I've played. Yeah, agree. Worth a look. It's a scratch, so I'm willing to watch content and check anything out. I do have 2 videos of Cthulhu Death May Die on the channel. Neither was particularly well watched, so Take that for what it is. Um, I played a bit of Card Hunter, grid-based tactics deck builder. Gloomhaven is close enough, but not quite there. Maze Knight is more epic, but less incremental adventuring. Need a real scaled down Maze Knight campaign. Card Hunter's only digital. Good game, yeehaw, dang. White donkey with the clapping hands. And when a donkey claps for you with human hands, I mean, you know that you have attained greatness. In a very real way. I don't even know why I put these dice out because I clearly wasn't using them today. So sorry about that. I do like to use that. I think with 3 spirits and being mindful of time of play and trying to keep this thing moving, it's fine. This is a cool challenge. My first foray into this was first foray into Guard the Isle's Heart with Bringer and Ocean and Thunder Speaker did not go as well as my 2 attempts with these 3 spirits. This was an easier win than the one I had last night. Last night it did get into stage 3, but I went through this entire major power deck. I did some Terrifying Nightmares, we did Indomitable Claim, we did Poisoned Land. I mean, we we were doing some crazy stuff last night. I did have the Trees of Stone Speak of War. I just wasn't matching up my elements very well, which really I think prolonged the game. I got a lot better cards for elemental purposes today, and Quicken Your Struggles was a monstrously great card draw at that moment. Just really, getting the Tahan in there between Favors Called Due and Draw the Fruitful Earth. It was really just pretty clutch, and just seeing those synergies with the 3 different aspects and how they work together is cool. I mean, most notably, obviously, being Exaltation of the Stormwind. It's like, oh, you get to make one thing fast, I make one thing fast. You're doing a lot more slow powers with lightning, but it kind of evens out. I don't even think I use lightning's boon at all. Or did I? Maybe I used it the first turn. No, I don't think I ever did. I kept. I think I kept just using Exaltation of the Stormwind. To combo. I mean, the combo of Rituals of Destruction and Infinite Vitality for Earth was just absolutely huge, and then Earth is repaying the favor by giving another spirit the ability to play a cheap card twice. That really comboed well for Lightning when I was able to do Song of Sin. Nope. I was able to do. Nope. Those are Shadows cards. I was able to do Rouse the Trees and Stones twice. That gives me 4 damage, wipe out a city. So it's all cool stuff. White Donkey says it's true. It's true. But this was fun. Look, we're done with the aspects. So if you're like, what about I did it? Whatever aspect you want to see, it's on the channel. Again, the first aspects I featured were Resilience, Earth, and Vitality River, I think. So you can go check that out. And again, I think there are 12 aspects, 14 aspects. I don't know, something absurd. There's like 4 for Shadows, 2 for Earth. Is it 4 for Shadows, 2 for Earth, 3 for Lightning, and 2 for River, I think. So whatever that math is, there's 20 new aspects coming in Nature Incarnate. So, I haven't looked too much into that. I'm getting murmurings from people who are very excited about them, and that's super cool. The last thing I want to do with scenario is Blitz scenario. So I have no idea what 2 spirits I'm going to do that with yet, but that will be my next spirit on it. So that should be done by the end of December, and then starting in the new year, I'm going to borrow my friend's copy of Horizons, and I pointed that way because Steve lives right there. And we're going to get that on the channel. I think I'll get my own copy of Horizons at some point. I don't know. I was told I was getting one, and I'm still waiting. So, it is what it is. I mean, it's $20, $25, $30, whatever it is. So I can go buy it if I really want to, but I'm not that, I can wait. It's one of those things. I can wait. My shelves can wait. I mean, after PAX Unplugged, my shelves can definitely wait. Oh, and Frosthaven's coming this week. Oh, and all my Hapamaka stuff is coming by the end of the month. I'm in trouble, guys. I got a problem. But this too shall pass. So anyway, this was amazing. and I'm glad we pulled off an emphatic win, and it only took 2 hours. That's nothing. It's crazy. 3 players, 3 spirits, 2 hours. I mean, they were low complexity spirits. I would never like. Can you imagine like Starlight, Finder, and Fracture Days 3-handed? Like, oh my gosh, dude, no way. It's absolutely nuts. Need to order more shelves. I mean, if you were in my basement and you looked around, you might have a different thought about that, Teachers. And the Hopamaka's hype. I'm excited. Look, I just got Victorum. I know Liz Davison she's been putting up some of the remastered content. I think Mark Dainty's been doing the same. I'm good with Victorum, man. I just, I have so much chip theory stuff that I want to get through. I just can't imagine feeling the need to get remastered and Victorum, but who knows? I mean, that could change in the next few weeks. But as I start diving into Hoplomachus, but yeah, I have Nemesis to dive into. I have Etherfields to dive into. I have like more Final Girl to dive into. I mean, Starship Captains I just got from CGE. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff. Order more basement. My wife and I went the other way. We're adding a 3rd floor. So, and if I put board games in our 3rd floor, I'm gonna have other problems. So my wife is amazing, but yeah, that's not gonna work, dude. You might not know about the 2nd basement pip. Oh man, maybe we'll see. I mean, it's good. I kind of like being forced to make hard decisions and call though, because it just really helps prevent me from really just sitting on games for too long. It's like, do I really want this one still? Nope. Let's try to sell it. Let's try to move it on. So I'm trying to do some local sales, but I might have to start opening up to some sales involving shipping. But I really just hate that whole process of shipping, and shipping is not cheap. Yeah, I recently got hooked on TMB and got a bit carried away during that Black Friday sale. Have enough TMB to last a year probably now. Yeah. No, it's for real. I mean, I just had the base game. They sent me Slice and Dice as a review copy, and then I have Undertow, and I picked up everything else, like not the promo stuff, and not Riffle, and not Automaton. I picked everything else up in the Hopamakas thing, and now I'm trying to get them to send me other stuff because I'm just like, dude, I have too many games that I'm investing in right now. But we'll see. We'll see if that works out. But I was told it would. But I've been told things by publishers before, and you just don't know. Publishers are busy, man. You don't realize how small these companies are sometimes, and these things get lost in the in the wash, and like they're trying to keep a lot of balls in the air, and it's a lot going on. So that's about it. Thank you so much for everyone stopping in. This is a cool, fun little challenge. I hope, I don't know, you're inspired to check out Heart of the Guard of the Isles Heart. What did we just play? Like Heart of the Wildfire. Like, no, that's not what I just did. Guard the Isles Heart. No, again, it's super cool. A lot of things to keep track. I mean, I would recommend doing it against England. I think this would, against any other adversary, would have been a bit too easy. But that's just me. I mean, and it could just be this combination of spirits. I don't see. It feels more tower defensy with England. I mean, the rest of it, it's kind of easy to prevent the builds in the center. England forces you to have to look another layer out and be really conscious of where everything is. I mean, I was super conscious of things, and I still missed, oh, that's going to build there. Shoot, how do I stop that? And I had an easy enough way to do it with even the powers I had out, but it still required another level of analysis for sure. White Ducky says, oh, dang. And DJ says, cheers. Thanks again, all. Thank you, sir. Have a great day. White Ducky says, thanks. I'm going to be back next week. Again, only 2 playthroughs this week. Sorry about that. If you did not see my Battle Crest playthrough yesterday, I would strongly recommend that. The designer showed up in the middle of the playthrough, so made sure there were a couple of rules things that the rule book is like, the rule book is not even a book. The rule sheets was a little unclear about some things, so he like really helped clarify some things. That game is very impressive to me. I don't know where it falls for me as like a top game, but I'm very impressed by the system and what they did with like only 18 cards and then 18 cards in an expansion. So again, if you don't know, that's from Button Shy. They just do 18. They just do games of 18 cards. So I put a playthrough of that up. They sent me a review copy of those two things, the expansion and the base game. So definitely, if you're interested at all, you're looking for another small box game that's pretty cheap. I would recommend that pretty strongly. It's very unique. It's not an easy learn, surprisingly, but it's a very interesting game. And I think if you have a group that has like if you like 2-player games, you like skirmish games, I think it does a lot of things very, very well. That I find super engaging. So definitely check that out. Next week, I'm probably gonna get Australia on the channel. We got Mage Night. I'm gonna try to do Resident Evil 3. Um, and I don't know. I got a fourth one that I got floating around on my schedule somewhere. So I'm going to try to get 4 up next week, probably 4 the week after that. Then we have Christmas and New Year's, and which is going to be 2023 before you know it, kids. So thank you for joining me. And any questions, comments, epiphanies, put them in the comment section below. If you want to see what's coming up next in solo playthroughs land, again, I have a public post on my Patreon page. The link is in the description below, where I just kind of put up games that you can expect to see in the upcoming months. And other than that, again, thanks again. And until next time, happy gaming.
Solo.